It is now Tuesday, May 2nd, 2017, 6:30 p.m. Would everyone please silence their phone and rise for invocation by Parat Patel.
श्री स्वामीनारायण भगवाननी जय। ओम सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सवीरं कर्वावहे तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहे। ओम शांति शांति शांति। श्रीमद्सद्गुणशालिनं चिदचिदि व्याक्तं च दिव्याकृतिं जीवे साक्षरमुक्तकोटिसुगदं नैकावताराधिपं ज्ञेयं श्रीपुरुषोत्तमं मुनिवरे वेदान्तकीर्तं विभुं तन्मूलाक्षरयुक्तमेव सहजानन्दं च वन्दे सदा। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरा गुरुर्साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः।
Now, let us all join in a prayer for peace.
हरिः ओम द्योः शान्तिरन्तरिक्षगु शान्ति पृथिवी शान्तिराप शान्तिरोषधयः शान्तिः वनस्पतयः शान्तिर्विश्वे देवाः शान्तिर्ब्रह्म शान्तिः सर्वगु शान्ति शान्तिरेव शान्ति सामा शान्तिरेधि। यतो यतो समीहसे ततो नो अभयं कुरु शन्न गुरु प्रजाभ्यो भयन्न पशुभ्यः विश्वानि देव सवितदुरितानि परासुव तद्भद्रं तन्न आसुव। ओम शांति शांति शांतिः सुशान्तिर्भवतु सर्वैष्टशान्तिर्भवतु।
Through this prayer, we pray for peace on earth, for peace all around us, for every human, for every animal, for every plant, and for every soul. Now let us all join for a chanting of the Swaminarayan Mahamantra. Swaminarayan, 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 Swaminarayan Bhagavanani Jai. Jai Swaminarayan.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
May I have a roll call, please?
Mayor Stephen B. Grant.
Here.
Vice Mayor Justin Katz.
Here.
Commissioner Mac McCrae.
Here.
Commissioner Christina Romulus.
Present.
Commissioner Joe Casello is absent. There is a quorum.
He wanted me to let everyone know that he's up in Tallahassee on our behalf for what he's doing with the Sober Homes Task Force and letting the legislation know that we need assistance with the opioid crisis that is going on in Palm Beach County and in Boynton Beach. May I have any additions, deletions, or corrections to the agenda? Seeing none, may I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Do I have
Second.
all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Informational items by members of the City Commissioner. Vice Mayor Katz.
We had the 6-month strategic planning update slash affordable housing, workforce housing workshop the other week, and that was pretty exciting. There was a lot of good stuff I think that came out of that. Looking forward for the city. Went to the South Central Wastewater Treatment and Disposal Board meeting. I met with representatives of Hunters Run and Leisureville, two communities in District 1. I met with Jeff Sluggett, who is a representative of I don't remember the name, one of the medical marijuana approved cultivators in the state. And I also went to the opening of the Macy's Backstage, which is kind of like a discount Macy's within a Macy's. So it's something new and exciting in the mall.
Thank you. Commissioner McRae?
Thank you, sir. Just want to say to Vice Mayor Justin Katz, thank you for attending the meeting in Leesburg, because one of your constituents met me at the senior home and said, hey, one of you guys came to see us, so I'm glad you went to see them. Thank you. Okay, I also attended the 6-month strategic force thing that we also had in the workforce housing was one thing. But Sunday afternoon, I went to Delta Sigma Theta Alumni Chapter, where they awarded and recognized the Scholastic students in Palm Beach County on the South End chapter. It wasn't as many as it always was, but the crowd was there. And I want to say to Chief and also to Lieutenant Deal and also the men and lady in blue that was out there to help direct traffic. Thank you all, job well done. I also want to say to you all, thank you for getting the memo about washing that car over there, because I parked my truck by there. Mine was shiny, so I said, I know that thing is dirty. So just want to tell you thank you. That's it for me.
All right. On April 19th, I met with the Fitzgerald Group and also went to the strategic planning meeting. On the 20th, I went to the Metropolitan Planning Organization and got an update for Brightline. They are going to be doing multiple community outreaches regarding the safety, because we will be getting, we are in the quiet zones, and so there will not be a train horn. Also, there is this Saturday between 9 and 1 p.m. on 72 North Federal Highway Boca Raton is the kickoff event for the US 1 multimodal corridor study that goes through Boynton Beach, our federal highway. That evening I attended the Boynton Beach Short Film Festival, and it was an amazing event. It was about an hour and a half of about 6 different films, and I was blown away with how great everything was. And so I'm glad that South Tech has called it the Boynton Beach Short Film Festival, and they said that they're going to do it again, and so I look forward to supporting them in that endeavor. On the 21st, I attended the Sister Cities Showcase, where they were handing out scholarships to students for artwork and poems and essays. On the 22nd, I became Thor for the Superheroes and Princesses event at the Schoolhouse Children's Museum. And later on that evening, went to the concert on the green. I thought it was a wonderful event, and looking forward to having more events on the golf course. The 24th, I attended the Cross Points Volunteers and Business Partners Luncheon, and I hosted an ambassador from Rauma. On the 25th, I went to St. Joseph's Business Day. The 26th, I went to Palm Beach County Legal Aid's Sober Home Workshop. I went to the League of Cities event. Boynton Beach Raw had a little meet and greet at the Boardwalk Ice Creamery, and then I spoke at the Women's Circle Support Group. On the 27th, I was at the Franklin Academy to give their keynote speech to the Junior National Honor Society. On the 29th, I was with Vice Mayor Katz at Macy's Backstage. The 30th, I went and conducted the Stars and Stripes Forever at for the Gold Coast Band. And this Friday, May 5th, they are going to be receiving a national award for number 8 in the country for community bands. So think about how many communities there are and how many community bands. We are number 8, so it's something to be proud of. On the 1st, yesterday, I attended the Florida League of Cities conference call, the Hispanic Bar Association's luncheon, the South Tech accreditation with Advance Ed. I attended the Attorney General's opioid workshop, and then had my town hall meeting at South Tech, and this morning did a proclamation for Bethesda Nurses Day. Commissioner Romulus?
Where's your hammer, Mayor? Or Thor, I apologize.
It's right here.
Bow in the presence.
Yeah.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. First and foremost, on a serious note, I just want to send condolences to the family of Mr. Tim Sweeney. We lost an employee here in the city, and that's something that we always want to make sure we pay homage to. So again, condolences to the family of Tim Sweeney. My activities that I was involved in for the last couple of days, I also did attend the Workforce Housing Ordinance Summit, Strategic Planning thing that we did. I just want to make a point of clarification on that because I've been getting a lot of odd statements from the community. I don't believe it's anyone in here that needs that education, but I just do want to make sure that I make the point. Workforce housing, what that means is individuals who work in the regular fields that most of us are probably in, whether that is police officers, firefighters, school teachers, anyone making really anywhere from about 35 to 100,000 is considered workforce. This is something that's important for me because as we move forward in the development of Boynton Beach, we want to make sure that we keep including and we keep people who are, employees who build the city, who do things in the city, are also given the same opportunity to live within the city and live within the new developments that are coming to this city. So I think that's something that's very important for us as a community to fight for. And I thank the commission and the rest of the staff for making sure that this is something that's a priority and that it's important for us to keep fighting for that. I also attended the Business Development Board Economic Forum, the first annual Boynton Beach Short Film Festival. That was a great event as well. Just a great testimony as to what South Tech is doing in terms of bringing many minds in the community together from all walks and showing their talent and letting Boynton Beach be the opportunity for that to be showcased. I want to give a special congratulations, even though he's not here, to Commissioner Casello for his reappointment to the Palm Beach County League of Cities Board of Directors. This week, today, the county mayor of Palm Beach County announced this week as National Travel and Tourism Week. So, congratulations, and we'll be celebrating that all week. And lastly, just a special shout out to the development team here in our great city of Boynton Beach that took the time out of their busy day after a long, hard day of work. They went out still in the hot sun and went and picked up litter on Model Block. That is the area right there near Sarah Sims on 10th MLK. And we spent an afternoon there in the hot sun picking up trash and making that park look a lot better than it was before we got there. So just congratulations to our staff because they work hard, not just inside of this building, but also outside to keep our city looking great. And putting that effort forward, that's an amazing task. So thank you to the Development Department. Andrew, I see you back there, and everyone else involved in that process. They do this quarterly, and it's amazing that they're willing to just take extra time outside of their work day to go and do things like that. Also, just thank you to Wally Majors and Amy Blackman for taking the time to give me a riding tour of all of our city parks. 29, I believe the number is, if I'm not mistaken. So thank you again. That is all I have for now, Mayor.
Eric, let me just jump in here. Also, I went to Concert on the Green, and I'd like to say to all the departments that was displayed, Parks and Recs, I think every department in the city was there, but I was really taken by the water department. I thank you all for, saying that I won something else, and y'all gave me one of those water, hose things. Appreciate it. Thank you. Got 5 more. Thank you.
Now for the 5 proclamations. Proclamation. Whereas the office of the municipal clerk, a time-honored and vital part of the local government, exists throughout the world, and the office of the municipal clerk is the oldest among public servants, and whereas the office of the municipal clerk is the oldest among public servants, and whereas the office of the municipal clerk provides the professional link between the citizens, the local government bodies, and agencies of government at other levels, and whereas municipal clerks have pledged to be ever mindful of their neutrality and impartially rendering equal service to all, and whereas the municipal clerk serves as the information center on function of local government and community, and whereas municipal clerks continually strive to improve the administration of the affairs of the office of the municipal clerk through participation in education programs, seminars, workshops, and the annual meetings of the state, provincial, county, and the international professional organization. Whereas it is most appropriate that we recognize the accomplishments of the office of the municipal clerk. Now, therefore, I, Stephen B. Grant, Mayor of the City of Boynton Beach, does recognize the week of May 7th through May 13, 2017 as Municipal Clerks Week. And our City Clerk, Judy Pyle, will accept it.
Excuse me, before we go any further, I'm just saying we have a new deputy city clerk, and I'm just saying I think she needs to be introduced to the city of Boynton. I'm just saying she's sitting right there.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
So we have a new deputy city clerk, Queen Esther. She was there with me last night for my town hall meeting, and we look forward to working with you in the city of Boynton Beach.
Thank you.
Yep, National Mental Health.
Mental Health Committee, right?
Yep, that's this one. We got another one. Yeah, we got two mental healths.
Yeah, that'll be the first one.
Yeah. Ready? Proclamation. Whereas mental illness is recognized as a prevalent health problem in America, exceeding cancer, lung disease, heart disease, and obesity combined, and early diagnosis and treatment can enable most individuals to recover and lead productive lives. And whereas 1 in 4 adults in Palm Beach County, as well as 21% of children and youth, have mental illness, and nearly half of those suffer from 2 or more conditions simultaneously, including schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, substance abuse, and depression, which may result in joblessness, domestic violence, homelessness, absenteeism, divorce, bullying, school dropouts, and suicide. And whereas all of us must strive to start the conversation to remove the fear and misunderstanding around mental illness and its treatment so that those with a mental disorder can take action to get the help they need. And whereas advocates and elected officials in South County have proclaimed mental health a priority and have combined efforts to provide leadership and assistance to break the silence throughout Palm Beach County through the Action Alliance on Mental Health. And whereas every citizen shares the burden of mental health problems and has a responsibility to recommit our community to increasing awareness and understanding of mental health, the steps our citizens can take to protect their mental health, and the needs for early identification and accessible services for all people struggling with mental illness. Now, therefore, in recognition of the efforts of the Boynton Beach Mental Health Committee to promote mental health education and awareness in the community, I, Stephen B. Grant, by virtue of the authority vested in me as mayor of the city of Boynton Beach, Florida, hereby proclaim May 2017 as National Mental Health Month. All right.
Thank you, Mayor Steve Grant, and thank you to all of our elected officials. We are encouraged by your support of Mental Health Month and the Boynton Beach Mental Health Committee. We are working to promote education and awareness among mental health in the Boynton Beach community. I would like to acknowledge the members of our committee, which you see standing here with me, as well as some of the NAMI people. Amen. So we're happy to have them with us today. This month, once again, we are collaborating with the county and city library system to encourage special book displays about mental health, working along with information about NAMI and the Mental Health Association. Be sure to look for the displays at our Boynton Beach Library. There's a list of Boynton Beach Community Health Committee related activities for the month of May that's on the tables in the back of this room. Please pick up one on your way out. Everyone in this room has the power to help bring mental health out of the shadows just by talking about it. There has been too much silence, too much pain, too much fear, too much shame, and not enough information being shared about mental health. Be brave. Start the conversation in your home, your faith community, your workplace, your clubs, your organization, wherever people are gathered. The first question we ask when we talk to groups is how many people in the room have a loved one or a friend with mental illness. invariably, most of the hands go up. We are all in this battle together. We will fight until we find support, and we will continue the education of the public. When we learn about others who are struggling, we will jump in to give support. So let's join together to break the silence and start talking about it. Mental health is the perfect time to begin. If not now, when? Thank you.
All right.
Hey,
Well, you guys, you get the next one too, so. All right. Catherine? Proclamation. Whereas mental health is essential to everyone's overall health and well-being, and whereas everyone experiences times of stress and struggle in their lives, and whereas 1 in 4 adults and 1 in 5 youths aged 13 to 18 experience serious mental illness, and whereas 60% of adults and 50% of youth do not receive the treatment necessary for their mental health needs due to limited or no knowledge of the needs, barriers to care, or fear and shame. And whereas community understanding and available supports and services can greatly impact a person's ability to handle their stress and struggle and move forward. And whereas promoting mental health and wellness leads to a higher overall productivity, better educational outcomes, lower crime rates, stronger economies, lower health care costs, improved family life, improved quality of life, and increased lifespan. And whereas each business, school, government agency, healthcare provider, organization, and citizen shares accountability for the community's mental health needs and has a responsibility to promote mental wellness and support prevention efforts. And whereas the City of Boynton Beach, alongside NAMI, Palm Beach County recognizes the impact of awareness and education, access to services, and acceptance of the importance of mental health and well-being to a person's overall success. Now, therefore, I, Stephen B. Grant, Mayor of the City of Boynton Beach, Florida, do hereby proclaim the month of May 2017 as Mental Health Awareness Month. You're welcome. Oh, let me sign it first.
I didn't mean to bring forward 2 mental health proclamations, so I apologize for that. But I'm working with the Birth to 22 United for Brighter Futures work group, and we added on Trauma-Informed Care Month, so Mental Health Awareness and Trauma-Informed Care Month. And in this, we're shifting our lens from what's wrong with you to what has happened to you. So as the mayor stated, 1 in 4 adults and 1 in 5 young people are living with a mental health condition. We're very happy to bring NAMI Family to Family to the city of Boynton Beach this summer to help to build that community support around mental health. And this morning, the Palm Beach County Commission proclaimed May as Mental Health Awareness Month as well. So on behalf of NAMI and the Trauma-Informed Action Team of the Birth to 22, it is very much appreciated that the Boynton Beach Commission recognizes the impact on mental health awareness and the need to deliver services with a trauma-informed lens. And I want to let you know that on May 25th, it's Get Your Green On Day, and we encourage everybody to wear green. And we have a special website for more events and activities that are happening to celebrate the day at getyourgreenon.org. Thank you.
Proclamation. Whereas safe, clean, and sustainable water resources are essential to Florida's environment, economy, citizens, and visitors. And whereas although Florida's water supplies are finite, the state's population and need for water resource continues to increase. And water reuse provides a means for conserving and augmenting Florida's precious water resources and is key to the state's sustainable water future. And whereas Florida has established the encouragement and promotion of water reuse as state objectives in Chapter 373 and 403 Florida statutes. And whereas Florida has risen to the national leader in water reuse, reusing 727 million gallons of reclaimed water per day to conserve freshwater supplies and replenish our rivers, streams, lakes, and aquifers. And whereas Florida's permitted reuse capacity is almost 1.7 billion gallons per day, more than 65% of Florida's total permitted capacity for all domestic wastewater treatment facilities. And whereas Water Reuse Florida, the state section of the Water Reuse Association, has proclaimed the week of May 14, 2017 as Florida Water Reuse Week, and the city of Boynton Beach has joined with Water Reuse Florida, the Florida Department of Environmental Protection, and the South Florida Waste Management District in encouraging and promoting water reuse and conservation. And whereas the City of Boynton Beach has implemented a water reuse program that encourages efficient and effective use of reclaimed water. And now, therefore, I, Stephen B. Grant, Mayor of the City of Boynton Beach, Florida, do hereby proclaim the May 14th, 20th, 2017 as Water Reuse Week. Your picture.
Thank you. On behalf of the South Florida Water Management District Governing Board and our Executive Director, Peter Antonacci, we want to thank the Mayor and the Commission for this proclamation. Water reuse and reusing water extends our fresh water supply, which is a finite resource. So I know that Boynton Beach has been very committed to this alternative water use. The Water Management District has been supportive in those efforts, and we continue to do so and hope that we will continue this wonderful partnership. So again, thank you very much for conserving our water resource.
All right. Amy? Yep. Proclamation. Whereas Drowning Prevention Month was established through collaborative efforts across the county to promote water safety and drowning prevention, and whereas drowning is a leading cause of death and disability to children under the age of 5, and whereas each year near drowning accidents result in lifelong disabilities, and whereas the Department of Developmental Services and the Drowning Prevention Foundation continue to raise awareness on this issue and reminds parents and caregivers that kids are not drown-proof, and whereas the month of May has been identified as Drowning Prevention Month by the National Drowning Prevention Alliance, and whereas with temperatures on the rise, more people are heading out to enjoy summer activities, many of which include water and swimming, and whereas by becoming informed, each of us can enjoy a fun and safe summer. Now, therefore, I, Stephen B. Grant, Mayor of the City of Boynton Beach, Florida, do hereby proclaim the month of May 2017 as Drowning Prevention Month.
Blackman, Recreation Superintendent. Thank you for this opportunity to speak about May as Drowning Prevention Water Safety Month. According to the World Health Organization, 60% of youth drownings ages under the age of 5, as the proclamation stated, are within 6 feet of safety. So if you look at those numbers, and 80% of those 60% are in environments that there was an adult there. It was in a supervised environment. So if you look at those numbers, it's very astounding. Also, South Florida alone, Florida leads the nation in youth drownings, ages 4 and under. South Florida alone loses enough children every year to fill 3 VPK classrooms. So here in the city of Boynton Beach, we have many efforts that we are continue to pursue. We have 2 very strong partnerships, one with the YMCA of South Palm Beach County to provide instruction and funding for swim lessons, and we also have a partnership with the Drowning Prevention Coalition of Palm Beach County. And then we also do have our own staff that do water safety efforts on a regular basis, pretty strong efforts in the schools, drowning prevention talks. We participate in a lot of national programs. We also have a very strong relationship with the National Drowning Drowning Prevention Alliance as well. We also do have door alarms that we have received. So if you know of anyone, and we will be passing these out in the month of May, and until they're all gone. If you know of anybody that does have access to water, and they either have a child that is at risk of drowning that does not know how to swim, or an autistic child of any age, because we know that autistic children are very drawn to water, please contact us, and you can contact the pool at 561-742-6646 and speak to Crystal Casada. She is our aquatic supervisor, and we will be more than happy to give you one of these door alarms, and we are working on funding in the future to give them to fire rescue so they would be able to pass them out if they do go to a home and realize that there is a risk at that home, and be able to give that individual an alarm to keep their family safe. So thank you very much.
Next, we have a presentation by Eleanor Crissell, Public Information Manager, highlighting communications marketing operations for the city.
Excuse me. We're setting up here. Pardon me.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Commission. While Alan's setting up the computer, I do want to introduce our team members. Alan is helping me tonight. Alan is our webmaster. We have John, who I'm sure you're John Durgan, who's also assisted me throughout the years. So as we set up, we'll pay attention to the screen.
Let's ask Charles back there if you would. Excuse me, Charles, can you hear me in the back there? If you would toggle over to, I think, switch position A. We brought our own computer. Sorry about that.
Be patient with us for just one moment. Go. Thank you, Charles. And that's Charles, also assisting the team. In February of 2014, a strategic planning session was held with the communication team of 10. These included representatives from the departments, as well as our Chamber of Commerce and our CRA. At that time, we came up with a vision for the Public Information and Marketing Department, at that time called Communications. And the vision was the Communications Office of the City of Boynton Beach is a recognized leader in engaging the community by constantly providing information through innovative practices. We also came up with 8 strategic action items, and I'm not going to bore you with those tonight because actually, since this communication plan actually ends in 2017, we will be creating a new one next year. I'm going to go into our Facebook, a few of our social outlets tonight. And the first one I want to go through is the social media. And before we do that, I want to actually shout out to the Boynton Beach Police Department and Stephanie. Stephanie Slater is our PIO for the police department. Her Facebook page is the most robust that the city has right now, and we have 8 of them. And it was the first one, actually, in 2010, I believe, that in Florida. It's the first social media utilized in Florida in 2010. So shout out to Stephanie and the Boynton Beach Police Department. Okay. We have over 52,000 followers now on all of our 8 Facebook pages, and we've encompassed over 20,000 tweets. So it's pretty robust for a city our size. Focusing on the last 4 years, when I started, you'll see we had 285 followers, and we've increased that by 1,482%. So our total page likes in April, just in the city's main Facebook page, was 4,611. And I encourage you, likes is not the thing that we usually measure a Facebook analytic by, but does show you how many people are actually paying attention to our page. What is important is that engagement, which is on the right. And I just clipped one for you to show you. This is our highest one. And I just took this with my phone one night when I was at the Boynton Beach Fire Rescue annual banquet. It was of our Galaxy Steppers. And you can see by the engagement that we had, and I'm having a hard time seeing the screen because I usually wear 2 glasses, 3,421 actual views on that. So that's quite large for us. We're going to go to our Twitter accounts. We have 7 Twitter accounts, and you can see that we've tweeted out among them 20,077 tweets. And that's just in the past year, and we have 28,000 followers over. Recently, the library and HR became active in the Twitter feeds as well. I want to just go over the top tweets that we had on our Twitter's account this year. The Fall Festival. Sorry, I'm having a hard time seeing the screen. Last October, and you can see that was our top tweet. We earned over 4,000 impressions. Our top mention was done by our chief, our police chief, and it was a comic strip on the lighter side of traffic enforcement. So that was our top mention with 3,000 engagements. And then our top media tweet earned over 2,800, was about Boone and the Rock One Sock Day. I do want to mention that we have 2 Instagram accounts and 2 YouTube channels. Both of those are the city's main and the Boynton Beach Police Department. And in the far left corner, you'll see that the top view for the city, and we just started our Instagram about a year ago, and John did set that up for us, was actually a sailfish taken by Michael Landis in our fire department, and I placed on there and had 79 views. Advertising, I wanted to pull this out as one of our outlets because we're fortunate to have 2 billboards which we have complimentary advertising on due to a actual legal settlement. And they're both on 95. They're both in very, very good locations. One is just north of Boynton Beach Blvd on the east side. The other one's on the west side as you come off of Gateway, into Gateway. In the last 4 years, we've done 77 messages on those, and you can see that our spots are over $1 million. If we had to purchase that for 4 years, that would cost about $72,000. So we feel very fortunate to have that relationship. Again, my mouth is dry. I'm going through dental work, so excuse it. We also have outdoor signage. We have 20 external signs that are out throughout the community. They're at major intersections. 10 of them are within the CRA district. 10 of them are outside the CRA district. Per year, we do 14 messages on those signs. So every month we do a message. I pulled out ads as well just to show you that we do purchase ads. The top one on the left and the top one on the right are in the business development yearly guide, and they're just purchased to increase our economic development presence. The one in the middle was in the Bethesda Hospital Guide, the one on the left, Florida League of Cities, and the one on the right is a Facebook post that we purchased on the opening of NOBO. And if you can see, that reach it cost us $6 to purchase it, and we reached 1,782 people. And you can see that 70 people liked that post, so increased our economic development. We also are placing a lot more emphasis on our content writing. So these are a couple of examples. I know they're very hard to see, but the left one is the Relocation Magazine, which is sent out by the Business Development Board. That was an article that we submitted, so we received a whole page on Boynton Beach. The one in the top is an art article that Debbie Coles-DeBay placed. And the one on the bottom is one that we actually did not write, but the Palm Beach Cultural Council wrote for us. And as you can see, it reached 88 million people, and it was distributed throughout the country. And the one on the right is our therapy dogs, which was placed in the quality magazines. The utility bill inserts, we do 12 a year. They go to our utility customers, so that's 31,500. So each year we have a reach of 378,000, and these are just 4 samples of what is sent out. Our publications, in the last 3 years, we've done 3 annual calendar and reports, which you'll see on the left. We mail those to our utility customers again. Also distribute through our chamber, our Palm Beach County tourism outlets. And that audience reaches between 28,500 and 31,500 mailers. And then I just want to show you a couple of examples of how we've taken an event or a program and we've branded it, so year after year the same message is getting out to the community. So the one on your left is a Go Vote, which we've used now for 3 years, almost 4 years. The one on the right we've used for 4 years, so that the community, when they start to see that sailfish, understand the 4th of July is coming up when they see the Go Vote. These are samples of billboards, flyers, web posts, etc. We've created 2 videos in the last year and a half. The one on the left is a 2-minute video that we created. It's a promotional video that highlights Boynton Beach amenities to visitors. The one on the right, we just recently worked with the Tourist Development Council and created. The 3 pictures on the bottom just shows you that, again, we're working on the economic development. The one on the left is due south. The one on the right is on Boardwalk. The one in the middle is on our hula camp that we have at the beach. Another component of my job is crisis communication. This past year, we updated our crisis communication plan. We also did some public speaking training for our elected officials and our department heads. And then I serve as PIO in the EOC. And this past year, we had Hurricane Matthew, which was, we have several outlets that we got that through. Facebook, Twitter. We also thank Commissioner Romulus for getting it out on radio stations for us, and also CCNHR for getting it out in Spanish for us. So when we get compliments from other cities, and we got them from West Palm and Lake Worth, that our media presence during the hurricane was the best that they had seen, we appreciate those comments from other municipalities. So on the left, you'll see what we have planned for the next year, which we'll be budgeting for, is rebranding the city. We talked a little bit about this in our strategic planning, but what we need to do really is integrate our marketing across all of our departments and our platforms with our partners so that we become one voice for the city, and it's a consistent voice. We do understand that our city has changed over the past 11 years, so we need to focus more on what the community wants us to do rather than us pushing the message out. So we'll be doing a lot of community input for that rebranding. We will also develop through that rebranding a citywide marketing and public relations strategic plan that again will be citywide so we can focus on all of our amenities and services. We're going to reestablish the education committee, which we feel is a component, as we've talked about, for our workforce, and increase our connections and partnerships with our key resources. And I've kind of flipped them right now because I wanted, right now, what I'm focusing on our department's focusing on the right, is development and distribution of a community survey in order to start that rebranding. So we're going to go out in the community in multiple ways, and right now we're developing that RFP that we can get input from the community to go forward in next budget year with the rebranding. We're going to design and distribute an email newsletter. We've been creating a mailing list. We have 60,000 on our mailing list that includes schools, all of our businesses, our chamber list, our CRA list, our churches, partnerships, and so we'll be getting out our first newsletter in the next 60 days. And lastly, and why I have Alan next to me, is we're going to launch our website. This process has been, the website hasn't been redesigned since 2011? No, prior to that, I think. It's a revised system. It's a document form system where we went in and actually put in boxes of information. What we're creating is a website that becomes customer-oriented. You can go to the next page. And is responsive to the telephone, which are responsive to mobile devices, which our current website is not. We know that right now there's, well, just Facebook alone, 1,080,000, I don't know, 86 or something on Facebook, but on a mobile device, it's 1,000,006. So you're looking at having a huge population on mobile devices. Our website currently doesn't meet that need, so that was our number one reason for doing it. Number two is it has to be customer driven. We were pushing the information out, but we weren't asking the community what they wanted or needed. We're going to have search engine on there and ADA compliance. Yay, Debbie's in the back going, yay. And a Drupal open source platform, which for us, that means that it's a free platform. It's an open source, means that Alan can actually go into a community. It's a free community. We're not paying a service to have our website changed every time. This website, I will caution you, is the first one that we're putting out. We have budgeted and planned to evolve the website as we get customer feedback. We're just very excited that we are going to have a new website by the end of the year, and we hope to launch it on December 31st at midnight. And Alan's going to take you just through kind of what the page, again, think that this isn't as brilliant as the website is going to look in color, and also we kind of divided it because those were the means we had for tonight's meeting. But I'm going to pass it over to Alan.
Okay, thank you, Eleanor. Appreciate that. And thank you, Commission and members of the audience, the public, and my colleagues. I'm going to move up to what you'll be seeing, as Eleanor mentioned, is I'll show you a simulation of the new homepage, the redesign, what it would look like if somebody visited the page or when they visit the page using a desktop computer or a laptop. And as Eleanor mentioned, a lot more visits to the site. Of course, people are going mobile. They're getting out their smartphones and conducting transactions and visiting sites online. So the site will automatically adapt, as Eleanor mentioned, to the phone, but it'll look different than what you're about to see on the desktop, the larger display. So, and
it won't
go
be
ahead.
applicable right now.
Right.
We finished the design stage. We're now into the development stage. So we're doing the back end now. We've done the front end. Now we're into the back end.
Yeah. So this is just a simulation of what it would be like to scroll through the homepage on a desktop computer. Okay. So, and I'll mention a few things as we go along. So this is the top section. I'll try to make this quick. As you can see at the very top, that blue background is the main navigation, and that's persistent throughout the site no matter what page you go to. You'll get those same choices from left to right that start with the city logo, and then it says residents, businesses, visitors, services, and government. And the idea here is that we're trying to help people find the information and the page and the transaction that they're looking for online by identifying themselves into those main categories right there. And then you'll also notice a lovely hero image. In this case, it's static, as Eleanor mentioned. It's a background of our well-known buildings and the marina. And those images will change dynamically, and we can change them when we want to as well, so that we can keep the home page fresh, since it is the most visited page on any website. And in the middle, there is a how can we help you today, because the site, again, is going to be very customer-centric and focused on meeting the citizens' needs, whether they come as residents or businesses or visitors and so forth. Then the row that you see right below that hero image, there are 4 buttons, and they can be changed as well. And those are the most in-demand type pages or services that we know that customers want at this point. So right now they're labeled, although it's hard to see, make a payment, customer service, permits info, and discover Boynton. And I don't know, did you want to comment on any of this? I'm kind of hogging the microphone. Okay. Okay, and then right below that, again, on the desktop browser, you see upcoming events, and those images, those can be changed out, but they would focus on some of the more popular events that recur throughout the year, such as the Pirate Fest and Mermaid Splash, the Holiday Parade, the 4th of July, and even some one-off events we can put there. So it gives quick access to the citizens and the site visitors to get to information that they're really looking for.
So when you click there, there's more information concerning the event.
Right, on each of those images.
And then under it, all events, so if you want to
there's
search.
an all events, right. So, and it's hard to see up there, I know. But okay, so continuing scrolling downward, the next section that somebody would encounter would be the meetings and the news, and that's pretty self-explanatory. You can look at all meetings and all news, and then connect and engage. I don't know if you want to comment on that. No?
Oh, I got a quick question.
Oh, yeah.
So are we going to have like a workshop to teach the public how to use the website once it's done?
We certainly can. It will be very simple, but we certainly can.
And so we can put it on YouTube and just...
We absolutely can.
Okay.
We absolutely can. The connect and engage is just a term that we're utilizing a lot more in marketing to connect and engage with our community. So we felt those buttons were important, and I don't know if you can see them, but one of them says call us, and it will automatically take you to a phone to call us. The next one is connect with your commissioner, email us, or sign up for our newsletter. And the engagement is join our team, transparency, submit a request, and report an issue, pothole or whatever.
Okay, then continuing on downward as one scrolls, there's an area that Boynton Beach is the right choice. It's labeled right there. So that's sort of a testimonial to drive economic development, among other things, where We can put some wording up there where people actually comment on the city amenities and the services, and so that's very configurable as well. Underneath that, discover Boynton Beach, where you need to be. Those 3 objects there that you see, those images, when you click on those, they can take you to a video or other types of content that's specific to, again, the broader community of services and amenities that the beautiful city has to offer. And then there's a button at the bottom that says Discover More, which would bring you to more of those types of things. So I think the next scroll down is the last one in this. And it is. So socially speaking is the city's social media wall, sort of, and it basically will dynamically take in the feeds from each of those. It's hard to see, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and it'll be presented in a way that, like I said, dynamically, that pulls directly from those resources, so they don't need to be updated by any human being, basically. That's kind of nice. And then below that, did you have something else? Okay. Below that, another part of the website that appears on every page is the footer, and that's just, you can think of that as kind of bookends, the header and the footer, which are persistent, so you don't get lost. If you make your way all the way down to the page, there'll be some links there that take people to important parts of the site. So that's it. I'm going to step aside if there are any questions from anyone.
Any questions for me or for Alan?
I just wanted to say thank you. I know, how long have we had the current website? Okay, that's fine.
10 or 12 years we've had the current website, and we did an upgrade at one point.
Okay, so I know that this is all, we're starting from scratch for the new website, so thank you for all the work. We look forward to the finished project and having a workshop so that we can show it off to the public. Thank you.
But one question before you go, where it says call us, will they be able to call their commissioners? That's what I need to know.
It will, no, that would probably go to a call center, or we could list. Good point. We could list.
Put your home number.
No.
We'll have several little icon phones, and it could be that as well if that would what you would like. But it was more about city services.
Thank you.
Certainly.
So, first of all, good job.
Thank you.
In terms of responsiveness, one of the main things that I've asked in the past is to have pay the water bill, have it as a link on the home page. And once I asked that, it was done right away. So thank you for doing that. I hope that's when you said make a payment. Is that the link? Perfect.
It could be that. It could be make a payment for any other service that we have, getting a pavilion permit to development, hopefully at some point, all of the development permitting.
Fantastic. 2 more things. First of all, good job on promoting the education committee. I look forward to seeing that. And also, I hope to see a better partnership as we move forward in terms of economic development and tourism. And I want to see a better partnership with the TDC, the Tourist Development Council, and also with Discover the Palm Beaches. I think they're very open to working with municipalities. I sit on that board. I can attest to that. So I think that's something we need to make sure we continue that partnership so that as we rebrand Boynton Beach, we're bringing new faces and new eyes to the city and allowing for more pockets to be open into the city and help our businesses and our economic development growth.
And we are a signature member on the Palm Beach Tourism Discover Palm Beaches. I sit on the Marketing Council, which we meet quarterly. They have come and given presentations here as well. It's about time they came back and gave us another presentation. But we do meet with them. Tracy and I, we share partners with CRA because it's quite expensive, and Tracy and I meet with them basically quarterly outside of the quarterly meetings as well. And we are members of Visit Florida, and we do meet with them yearly. Great. Yeah, that's fantastic.
Thank you.
Now I'm going to open up to public audience. Individuals, speakers will be limited to 3-minute presentations. Please state your name and address before you begin talking.
Hello, Alexandra Wilson, 1202 Northwest 5th Street. I'm excited that the city is rebranding and reaching out to the community. I think that's an awesome idea. That's great. I think that's an awesome way to move the city on a great path. So behind that, I would like to ask that the city implement a sidewalk, continuous sidewalk on Northwest 5th Street between Northwest 8th Avenue in Northwest 4th Avenue for the safety of the children walking to school at Galaxy, as well as the pedestrians getting off the bus. I'll ask that this board take a closer look at that. There's no sidewalks on Northwest 4th Street. So I think that's something that the board needs to take a look at. As well, there's 4 roundabouts in Northwest 1st Street that has light posts, and there has not been any lights implemented in those posts for a few years now. I wanted to know, like, can the board ask Parks and Recreations or the correct body to implement some type of lighting in those roundabouts? Because that's safety for drivers as well as pedestrians walking in that area. So those are my questions.
Alexander, excuse me, let me address one in regards to sidewalks on Northwest 4th Street. We did have a plan in place, but we had to get with the homeowners, and because of the trees, that's why it was not done. In regards to the lights with the roundabouts, we had problems because we thought they was historical, and I didn't want to tell anybody, but when they went into them, they was made in Japan, so it wasn't historical. So anyway, we're just looking into the lights. I'm just saying we will take care of that. I'm just saying Mr. Livergood, he is aware of that, that it will be, put lights as soon as possible. They're aware now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was a problem. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Cindy Falco Di Corrado. I live at 316 Northwest 1st Avenue. I come here with a very heavy heart tonight, and I haven't slept in 2 weeks since I have found out that our little town, who's already drug infested, wants to open up medicinal cannabis marijuana drugstores. It grieves me. I just heard that this gentleman here, one of our commissioners, is at a sober home situation. I heard this precious group of people with NAMI for mental health. THC in marijuana is a mind-altering drug. It's a known fact. I heard when I wrote to you, Vice President Commissioner Katz, that you have family members. I empathize with people in pain. But putting in marijuana stores would be detrimental to this community. I work with the heart of Boynton Beach. We're trying to help people get off drugs, not get on drugs. And it's a segue into opening it up for recreational use. Mayor, I speak to you because you said you wanted to put signs on the beach to say no smoking. Do you know that marijuana carries more in smoking than a cigarette? Do you know that it's more cancer-causing than a cigarette? Do you know that 12 years old and up will start smoking? And I have proof from Oregon and from Colorado and from Washington, D.C. in 1 year, only the ones that have been identified were 59 deaths. I'm going to read an excerpt to you so that you understand that money should never be your motive. Because, see, it's the love of money that's the root of evil. Money itself is not. It's going on the backs of people, allowing families to be disturbed and hurt and family members dying. And if I sound passionate about this, I am. I lost a son because of marijuana. So don't tell me in your communication with me that there's a few sect of people that hurt when you lose a child. And I am very saddened by everyone on the dais that voted last week or 2 weeks ago to say, yes, this would be a good idea for our community. I deal every day with people who are hurting and on drugs, heroin addicts behind my backyard snapping to put their drugs in their arm, and you want to open up marijuana stores in this community? All for the love of money, for tax dollars? I beseech you to go and find businesses, make it easier for businesses to open up in this community, give tax break incentives, and work with the business owners instead of tying them up for a year and a half before they can open their business. I read your motto, and I'm going to read the excerpt that I just told you about, but your motto says to create a sustainable community by providing exceptional. Marijuana stores are not exceptional. Municipal services in a financially responsible manner. I want to remind each and every one of you up there that you are public servants. That means that you are to take care of the majority, not the minority of the public who lives in this community. And what you are signing on to will cause more deaths, more accidents, more police patrol, more situations.
Thank you for your comments.
You're welcome.
I saw you were a little slow with the timer, so.
Woodrow
Excuse
Hay,
me,
427
excuse me, sorry.
Northwest Fifth Avenue.
Mayor Hay, would you hold on 1 second, please? I just want to comment on something. My personal beliefs and my personal testaments in terms of what we did here last week in terms of accepting the ability for us to create an ordinance to create guidelines for medicinal marijuana to be distributed in this community. I have my own personal intents in terms of what I believe in drugs and what I've seen drugs do to people. But when the term medicinal marijuana is used, I believe it's intended for that purpose. And I believe that us as a city have every single intention, especially our police force, to make sure that that is exactly what's done here in this city. I have a mother who passed away from cancer. I watched my mother die. I lost her, saw her take her last breath. And if there was any other options that she could have had, I would have been more than willing to allow her that opportunity. So if there is an opportunity for individuals to decrease their suffering and have a better end of life, I'm willing to stand up for that. I am not opening a door for individuals to use marijuana as a gateway drug. That's not what this ordinance is for. That's not what this ordinance is intended for. And I believe, again, that our police department has every intention to make sure that we enforce and we maintain that ordinance the proper way. So for those who disagree with our votes, I understand that. But please do not call into question my belief in God because of how I vote, because I understand the purpose. As a nurse, I understand the purpose of what these drugs can help individuals do. I would have rather seen my mother on medical marijuana than to see her on the cancer drugs that removed her hair and caused all the other disgusting situations that happened to her over her last year of life. That's what I would have preferred to see.
Great speech.
There's other medication for the
Excuse me.
Next.
It's not to use.
Next speaker, please.
Normally, I would put on my hat of a preacher and say, let's pray. But under these circumstances, I'm here to inform or enlighten or to give you some information. It's more of an announcement. On the 21st of this month, which is a Sunday afternoon at 2 p.m., we will be having an ecumenical service for our blue-collar workers, first responders, for the fire department, for the 911 callers. And we've been working and planning this for some time now. It's non-denomination, of course. And just to let you know, we've got many churches involved. We have Baptists, Catholic, the Hindu people that did the devotion up here, they are involved. Presbyterians, the Islamic, Methodists, Independent, all of us have come, and etc. We've come together to let the police department and our firefighters and 911 responders, our first responders know, let them know that we appreciate the work that they do for the city and for us. Because high on all of our lists is safety. We want to feel safe. And too often, it goes without saying about our firefighters and our police department. They don't get the necessary appreciation that they should, in my opinion. Being a police chaplain, I do have the opportunity of riding with some of our officers, and I see firsthand sometimes the disrespect that they have to put up with, and then to think about they have to leave that and go home and be a father or dad or do homework with the kids. It's really admirable, the work that they do. So I'm hoping that you will come out on May 21st. It's going to be at St. Mark's Catholic Church. Father Dan is the, what would you call him, the father over there? And what we plan to do is to move it around each year to some other denomination for the next year. So put that on your calendar. You will be hearing more about it. There will be flyers and information coming out. But I just want to make it known tonight that that is coming down the pike. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Good evening, Mayor Grant. I talked to you last night about the
State your
situation.
name and address.
Sloan Weigold, 7141 High Ridge Road, Boynton Beach. I made you aware of a situation that you weren't aware of last night. That is the Boynton Beach boat ramps. They are absolutely in deplorable condition. They've been in deplorable condition for 10 plus years. The ramps are 30 years old. The Boynton Beach Police Marine Department are aware of it. The U.S. Coast Guard is aware of it. The check-in for Saturdays and Sundays and holidays, they get complaints all the time. And they're collecting fees of $50 for annual registration for every boat you have. I've got 2 boats. And nothing has been done to those ramps. And for the 30 years they've been there, nothing has been done to them. On top of that, you've got the pier, which is out east of that is in deplorable condition, has been taped off for 3 to 4 years now. Should be torn down. People still going out there. And nothing is being done to these boat ramps. Nothing is even being repaired on the boat ramps. They're in the condition now that they cannot be repaired. And if you go there on a Saturday or Sunday at mid to low tide, or low tide to mid tide, which is 6 hours, you'll watch the fights, the arguments, the whole deal, because the boat ramps, when you put your trailer in, they cock this way. Okay, try to load a tractor trailer with a trailer like this and a boat and your truck like this. It is atrocious trying to get there and load your boat up. I had to help my buddy last week load his boat up, and I had to get there and he had to help me. So they're completely washed out. You go down there this weekend. If you go down there 2:30, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, you will see when people are loading their boats what it's like. And the new mayor didn't have a clue anything about this. The vice mayor, I take it you've been on the board since 2001?
Not Vice Mayor, Commissioner McCray, right?
Or the commissioner, right. You have not been aware of this? Nothing?
I have not been aware of it either.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, if you talk to the Marine, Greg Koch, and the Marine for Boynton Beach Police, he will tell you the same thing. Trailers get stuck on it, off the drop off. It's just, it's gotten to the point, 50%, the boat ramp's 50%. Tide comes in, goes out. 12 hours a day, it's at mid to low tide.
Thank you for letting us know about this.
Yep.
We will
Okay.
look into it for next year's budget.
Yep, okay.
One, real quick. I can't give you a timetable on it, but that particular need is part of the sales tax initiative that we're starting to implement, so I'm not sure when it will, but it is an item that's on the list and will be improved once the monies are allocated for that purpose.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
Good afternoon, Ray Whiteley, 223 Northeast 12th Avenue. 2 minutes and 55 seconds. Just to let you know, I'm going to use all my 3 minutes.
Okay.
Never could get over the opportunity that I have to stand at this platform. First of all, I'd like to say congratulations to the Boynton Beach Police Department on an awesome job with the body-worn camera initiative. I look forward to standing with them at the press conference when they introduce the rollout. It's a very, very good thing. I'd also like to, on behalf of the Boynton Beach Coalition of Clergy, we want to thank the city manager, David Scott, Police Chief Katz, for engaging the religious community in quarterly meetings. Awesome, awesome. The last meeting that we had, we all left pumped and recharged, and 3 days after that, those ministers are still texting and talking about what's coming down the pipe, so that's great. this is a good time for our Boynton. It's a great opportunity. I would like to leave with two more things. A quote by Matthew Desmond, which says, "It is hard to argue that housing is not a fundamental human need. Decent, affordable housing should be a basic right for everyone in this country. The reason is simple. Without stable shelter, everything else falls apart." I would like to continue, just to ask the dais to continue having conversations around this very, very, very important initiative which affects us all. It's really a travesty for my children to go away to college and come back and don't have a place to stay, because God knows I don't want them staying with me too much more. But it's difficult when they come back and make $40,000, $50,000, and the cheapest place for them to really rent is $1,700, $1,800. So please, I encourage you just to continue our conversation around this affordable housing initiative. And last but not least, I would like to take just 15 seconds just to pray for you. God, I ask that you touch every person sitting on the dais. Bless them. Give them the courage of David and the wisdom of King Solomon in everything that they may, every choice, every moment, every decision that they will make concerning your people. Amen. Thank you.
Amen.
In regards to your meeting, I'd just like to say that I received a copy of the individuals who was there. Thank you. I am informed. Thank you.
All right. Okay. Seeing no more, moving on to administrative. We have one applicant, Vice Mayor Katz.
I hope I'm pronouncing it right. To the Recreation and Parks Board, I'll nominate Eric Amon.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Moving on to consent agenda. Would anybody like to pull something? Seeing none.
I'd like to pull item A.
Item A?
Yep.
Okay. Anything else? All right.
And to approve as amended.
No, we motion approve. We're going to speak on item A first.
Yeah, go ahead.
We'll speak on item A.
I would just like an explanation from the city manager in terms of what this is.
You're going to speak louder because it's raining.
Yeah. If the city manager, Lori, if you can just explain to us what item 6A is and how that will help us as we move forward in the Town Square Development Project. Or Colin.
Okay. Sorry. Colin Groff, Assistant City Manager. Now, this is a contract for Stantec, which is one of our consulting engineers on our general services contract, to assist staff throughout the process of Phase 1, which is developing the master site plan, developing 30% building plans, working on all the other facets of developing contracts to move forward with Town Square. It really is to assist staff with those kind of things on an hourly basis as needed. They're also going to work, they're going to be the lead working with staff to develop the document control system that we need to have in place to make sure we control all the documents for this project. It's a very big project, so that's really their role, is really just as an assistant, as assistants to city staff to move this project forward. And I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, they'll serve as an owner's rep.
Right.
They'll represent us through these processes and help us get through some of the technical aspects of it that we just don't have the staff expertise to do. So, and namely, I think the beginning part is the e-builder.
Yeah, basically, mostly what they're going to be doing is helping us set up the processes for document control in the contract, because this is a particular contract which will have thousands and thousands of documents running through, and so we have to make sure those are tracked. And the city owns a product called eBuilder, which is online, cloud-based, that does that. But those processes all have to be set up in eBuilder, and they have the technical expertise, whereas utility staff does, but utility staff isn't available to work on this particular project right now. So,
how long will they be on board?
This is for Phase 1, which is the first 4 to 6 months, depending on how long Phase 1 takes. And our schedule right now calls for it to be 6 months, but it's an hourly rate as needed.
And it's up to 90,000.
Yeah, up to, yes.
So it can be less.
It can be less.
Okay.
I'd just like to say, before we hear from the speaker over there, we are now out of the cone of silence.
Yes, sir.
Yes, we are.
Thank you.
Okay. Yes.
Yes, relating to that.
Can you state your name for the record?
Oh,
Peter Gilliam, 305 Southwest Boynton Beach, Florida.
Thank you.
Is this subject that y'all just discussed, is it relating towards the old broken down school over here across the street?
Yes.
Is this so? Is that stating that the school is looking for to be part of the new town square development?
Yes, that was part of the RFQ.
Well, relating to just that idea, is that is the community is going to be part of the projection towards this town square building? Is it like a part of the process of it?
Basically what this is that because of the scope of the project, E2L said it was over $200 million.
It's possible.
Yeah, that we are hiring a consultant to help city staff negotiate with our development team that we picked. And what comes next after we sign a contract with the development team is the community involvement before anything gets done.
Okay, one statement that one of
You
your
got to speak
staff,
into the microphone, please.
one statement that one of your staff said earlier about like the community being more involved with your marketing or advertisement of things going on period with Boynton. Like, is y'all gonna also keep that in mind by keeping the community involved with this consulting for this general idea of all that?
For the general idea, yes. Not consulting for the contract, though.
General idea that represents the contract?
No, the general idea of what gets built. This is
it won't relate towards what the contract?
Okay, Peter, so what this is that we need to sign a contract with the development team. We are having them help us form the contract.
And the idea that...
No ideas.
No ideas relating towards the contract?
No ideas relating to the town square. This is to set the contract with the development team.
Yeah, I'm very aware of what a development team is, so who's exactly when y'all gonna have this consultant with the community and stuff?
After the contract is signed.
After?
Yes.
Ooh, man, y'all good. That's very strategic.
Because it's going to be brought back to the commission for us to agree.
So if I have a problem with, like, let's say y'all contract,
you can come to the city commission when we see the contract.
So y'all be open towards litigations and terms?
No, we're not litigating a contract.
Okay. So y'all really dead on for y'all own contract ideas, besides what the community would want to share with y'all about the school over here?
That is after the contract is signed.
Okay, so that means yes.
So all community involvement is after the contract is signed.
All right, notice. Thank you.
You're welcome.
But Peter, what I would say to you is if you can get with Colin so that he can explain it to you more in depth, what we are up against, it will help all of us.
It seems like it must be something urgent, or something serious.
Yeah. Get with Colin.
A lot of money,
Yeah.
All right. We have a motion?
So move.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Proposed resolution number 17-05 has passed. May I have a motion to approve the remaining consent agenda?
So moved. Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye. Trying to go home.
Moving on to public hearing. Proposed city attorney. You have to read this.
We're on the ordinance.
Yep.
An ordinance of the City of Boynton Beach, Florida, amending Ordinance 89-38 by amending the future land use element of the comprehensive plan for property commonly known as Nurse 1 and described herein, owned by CM&J Boynton Properties, LLC, changing the land use designation from high-density residential HDR to local retail commercial LRC, providing for conflicts, severability, and an effective date.
Okay. And may I have a motion to remove item B from the table?
So move. Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and Commissioners. My name is Bradley Miller, Miller Land Planning. This is a presentation that actually I made to you 2 weeks ago for the second reading. I could go through the same presentation if you want, or if not, I'm happy to stop talking.
So I have two questions before we open up to public audience. Is there any variances?
No.
Or design appeals?
No.
Okay. Then I don't have any other questions. I guess the city attorney, would you like to swear in anybody who would like to make testimony regarding this ordinance?
Yes, that should have been me too.
Yeah.
Swear or affirm that your testimony will be true.
I do.
Anyone else?
Yeah. All right.
You,
Open it
I
up.
saw you in the back. You raised your hand as well.
All right. Open it up to public audience. Anyone would like to speak regarding this ordinance? Sure.
You all didn't raise your hand before, did you?
Oh yeah, I have a question.
Wait, no.
Wait, you
please.
got to raise your
You
hand.
got to raise your hand and swear.
Oh, okay. Should I sit down too?
No. If you want to talk, you have to raise your hand and swear in.
Do you swear or affirm that your testimony will be true?
I'm asking a question, right?
You still have to say yes.
Yes. I swear.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
So,
is this land in the District 2 area?
No,
No,
it
it's
is
in
not.
3.
Oh, District 3?
Yep.
Well, I'm not familiar where this site is at. Could you help me identify exactly where this at?
All right. So we've been asked to do the presentation. So
No, well, not the presentation. I just want to know where it's at.
yeah,
But he's going
It's,
to give it to you now, see?
there it is.
So the property is just north of Southeast 23rd Avenue on Southeast 3rd Street, on the east side of Southeast 3rd Street.
Southeast.
Southeast.
Sir, you have to talk into the
Bradley,
microphone,
is it-
please.
Peter, you have to speak.
Peter.
Bradley, is it that?
Yeah, so this is very nearby, basically.
This is off Gulf Road and Federal.
Gulf Road and Federal?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Well, no, I don't have a question
Oh,
for
not
that.
by the
All
water.
right.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right. Erwin?
Or did you raise your hand?
Yes, I did.
All right.
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Do I have to swear and all that?
Yeah, you
Yeah,
raise your
you have to do your right hand, though.
Okay.
That's your-
Oh, right here.
You swear or affirm that your
Yes.
testimony will be true.
Yes, ma'am. No, I just want to know, just for me, just for clarity. So, what is the ordinance on? What is the point of what is the ordinance?
But
Layman's term, just layman's term. I'm not advanced with the whole.
What the ordinance does is there's a land use designation on the property now that's inconsistent with zoning, so it brings those
What is that? What is that designation?
The land use?
Yeah, what is it for now?
It's going to local retail commercial to allow a 2,300 square foot office building here.
And this ordinance is to do
To change our land development regulations for the property.
to what?
So basically, it used to be, or it currently is high-density residential, meaning that a multi-unit residential components can be built there. So what we're changing it to is local retail commercial, meaning that this office building that's going to be a nursing agency, correct, can be built there. That's what we're doing.
Okay.
Yep.
That's the only reason? That's just.
Yep.
That's it.
That's it. Very
Okay.
simple.
All right, just want to find out. Thank
Creating
you. Appreciate
jobs. Good
Yeah.
stuff.
it. All right. Good.
Yep.
All right.
All right.
Thank you. All right. Is there any questions from the board?
Nope. Motion to approve.
Second.
All right. May I have a roll call, please?
Mayor Grant,
Yes.
Commissioner McCrae,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Katz,
Yes.
and Commissioner Romulus.
Aye.
The vote is 4-0.
May I have a motion to approve the site plan?
Move.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you
Did we
very
already do a
much.
motion to remove it from the table?
Yep,
Yeah?
we did that.
Okay.
All right. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye.